Morning, everybody. Day 4, it's here. I've heard from a few of you very apologetically that you are running behind and you haven't watched all the videos and you haven't done all the homework. I want you to really don't worry about being behind. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. And if it takes you more than the 14 days, to complete the challenge, then that's what's right for you. So please don't feel like you have to spend the whole weekend frantically catching up all the videos. You can, of course, go back if you want to and see what's where, but just carry on at your pace. This is not supposed to be a challenge of direction and ambition and here we go. This is really an exploring challenge for ourselves, for slowing down a little, for checking in with our bodies, our minds, and our souls. And on that note today, we're going to do an exploring exercise that now for the first time, we're going to include our horses in our exercise. Now, if you don't have an available horse or you're not going to be seeing your horse today, and you'd like to do the exercise, you can actually do this exercise with any of your domestic pets, dogs, cats, hamsters. You can really do the exercise with whoever you want to. In fact, you can even use nature in the form of a tree or, something similar. So it's wonderful to do this exercise with an actual horse in the paddock. But if that's not possible for you today, don't panic. Do an interim measure until you get to your horse. So the exercise works. Remember yesterday we started with a body scan. Now this becomes quite an important base reading for us. So it's kind of not necessarily a daily exercise, but it's an exercise that we do when we are feeling that we need to get a base reading, what's going on for us. If there's a lot happening, if we're feeling very stressed, if we're quite overwhelmed, it's always helpful to do that body scan, and then you can get some messages from your own body. Now we're going to take that one step further and see if we can explore some listening messages with our horses. So step to do this is body scan first. So it's always best to do this exercise in a paddock where your horse can really give you the feedback and the messages that it wants to. If you're in a much smaller enclosure or you've got him tied up ready to saddle, he can't really, or he or she can't really be expansive in their messages. They're kind of just standing there. So we always want to have as much freedom as possible for our animals when we're exploring listening exercises. So in the paddock, you're going to kind of approach the paddock. Don't look at your horse at this point, kind of, face the other way or something. Go through a quick body scan. Well, not necessarily quick, but go through a body scan in your own body and let's turn off Siri, and get a bit of a base reading. Any messages that want to come through from your own body around how you are and what's happening. And then we look at our horses and just check in without touching them, without trying to approach them. Just be. Now, the more horsey you are, the more experienced you are, the more competitive you are at normal equestrian sports, in a way, the harder this exercise is for you, because we always have a preconceived notion of what we think our horses are saying. Oh, they're saying they have, ulcers. That's not looking good. Or, I wonder why he's favoring that leg. Now, that's not the kind of messages that we're looking for at the moment. We're actually looking for, what does my horse think I should be doing here? So I find this a very useful exercise when we're at a crossroads of any kind. Do you need to make any kind of big decisions? Is there something weighing on your heart? Is there a direction that you need to go and you're not really sure what to do? explore this listening exercise with your horse. So I want to give you a little example of a woman that I worked with a few years ago when I first started doing this type of work. And she came to me as exploring some career options. And she was in a very male-dominated industry career. And she said she doesn't feel respected by her male colleagues. She feels undermined by her male colleagues. And we explored this exercise in the paddock with two of my horses, one after the other. And the interesting thing is that both the horses, my horses are often very friendly and interactive and will often approach you in the paddock. They completely ignored her. They just carried on grazing and completely ignored her. And she was actually quite devastated. She was like, oh my goodness, they're just ignoring me. And it can feel very rejecting if your horse just ignores you. But in some ways, it was kind of really validating or solidifying the idea that she was, in fact, being undermined at work. And we had to then start working on her energy and the way that she brought herself into her workspace in order to be taken more seriously. So don't be scared if you get ignored. It's just information. It's not a rejection. And horses are such a wonderful, brilliant example of being able to be completely present in the moment and give you like live feedback exactly how you are being right now. So this exercise really can open up a lot of new pathways for you. I'm very interested to hear, how do you find it? Did you find it difficult to do? Were you able to really access the idea that your horse is giving you some advice rather than you telling your horse what to do? So enjoy, have fun. And if you don't have opportunity to work with your horse today, let me know how it goes if you manage to do the exercise with your dog or a tree or something different. And then we can always do this exercise another time when you get to your horses. Have a wonderful day. I will see you again tomorrow.